to Wildwood Cottage and welcome back to Wales. It's a very wet day here today and I thought I'd come out in the greenhouse and make the most of the weather. I know that sounds daft, but it means that I'm getting on with jobs that I wouldn't normally get on with when I'm in the garden. So my name's Hazel, welcome to my cottage diary. This is my diary about my garden here in Wales and about my house and the things that I get up to in the house with preserves and bottling and just frugal ways in which I save money. If you're interested in frugal living, then this might be the channel for you. So if you do like it, please do hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and that'll keep you up to date when I share new videos. So yeah, I really would appreciate it if you subscribe. And it really will help my channel here on YouTube. So yeah, today we are getting on with seeds. I've been doing lots of seeds in the greenhouse and I'm slowly running out of space, but there is a polytunnel on the way, and hopefully that'll be here by May and be up and ready for the tomatoes and the cucumbers when they're ready to go in. I've got watermelons growing as well, so I'm hoping for good things for the summer with the watermelons. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do some propagating. I showed you in my last video some frugal ways in which you can have propagators. I showed you, I'll put a link to in the little I button up here, the last video that I did. And I was showing you ways in which you can use household containers to sow seeds. So that's what we're doing today. I put holes in the bottoms of them. I've just used a pair of scissors, but they have got holes in, so they're all ready to go. So they're going to be for my flowers. I'm going to do my flower seeds in those trays, so I know the difference between the two, so I know what's what. I've got these two left to do, so I thought that I would just show you what I've done. This is just a muffin tray of what we get muffins in. I think I've got these ones in little. So all you do is you just take your pair of scissors, make sure your hands are out the way, poke a hole in like that. Maybe you can see that on the camera. There you go. Poke a hole in. Do that in each tray, in each one, just so that you've got enough space for water to get out. Maybe you can see that. And then you pop the lid on once the seeds are in there, and that'll keep the mice out, which is great for me because I have a problem with mice eating my seeds. So that's that one. This one's just a mushroom tub, and again you just poke it with a pair of scissors. Twist the scissors when you put it in like that, and that'll make a hole, proper hole for you. And yeah, that's all you're doing, just popping holes in just so that the water can get out, because you don't want waterlogged seeds when you water them. You want to make sure that the water can drain out. One in the middle. So that's it for that. That's got lots of holes in that one. I've done two of them. And then the other thing I've got here, excuse the close-up because they're in the corner over there, is my yoghurt pots. I discussed that again in my other video. This one needs a hole. Just hold on tight to the sides, give it a twist, and you've got a hole. So you just do that in each of your tubs that you're going to use. I've done the bottom of my coffee cup, I've done that one, and I've done the bottom of one of my plastic cups. So these are all different things that I'm going to use. I was thinking of using these for my sweet peas. So I'm going to start my sweet peas off in these. I've got some paper cups I can pop holes in the bottom of them as well. So there you go, you can see that. These are just old Christmas cups, what we used at Christmas, that I found in the church, and I thought instead of them going to waste, we'll use them here instead. So they're really going to go in the bin, so even if they just end up in the bin afterwards, at least they've had another use, they've had another life, haven't they? So, and that's a double cream pot with holes in the bottom. Now these things last for years, you know, it's really good plastic. And as long as you don't stand on them and break them, they'll last you for ages. So I use these on my allotment all the time. Much better than plant pots. These won't last so long. You might probably only get one use out of these. But again, it just saves them going to landfill. And as I said in my last video, the good thing is the cardboard thing that's round here, you can just write on the front. You can take it off and turn it round. But this one's got writing on the inside, so it's not worth me doing that. But it just means if you've got a marker pen, write on the front, and then you can know what's in the pot, can't you? So So that's my pot ready. Now I have got things I want to pot on as well today. Food that is ready for potting on. So make sure you put a good sized hole in them, because you don't want them getting clogged up with soil, and then it defeats the object of putting holes in them. Depending on the pair of sizes, I've been using a small pair of scissors, but depending on the size of the scissors that you use depends on the size of the hole. So there you go, there's my holes. So they're all ready for sowing. As I say, I'm going to do my flower seeds in these tubs, because then I'll know what's what when it comes to what's germinating. I've got things to plant on. I've got tomatoes. They are ones that I can use for bottling, full-size tomatoes. I'm not going to try Garten Pearl, I think they're called. Garten Pearl. There's the label. Thompson and Morgan. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 of them, so that'll be plenty for the 2 of us. I've got that cherry tomato to plant on, which were free off Gardener's World catalogue. And I've got that cherry tomato to plant on, so I thought I'd show you me doing that as well today. I've got cucumbers. I want to put them in some better soil, because this isn't rich rich nutrient soil. It was just old soil I had in the greenhouse, but I found a bag of compost in the garage, so I thought I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that in a minute, but I just thought that I would do these again in the nutrient rich compost. I've got them to do, and I've got these old boar BOER squash, and they're white squash. I think they're white anyway. So I've got these to do. I've got 3 of them. So that's the job for today. Excuse me, I'm just going to shut the door. Bit cold. Right, so I'll just turn you down and I'll show you my compost, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. I haven't decided what flower seeds I'm doing yet, so we're just going to have a little look in the box, see what we can find, and get them doing. What I want to do is to be able to grow flowers that I can cut for church in the summer, because I think that would be a really nice thing. We stopped buying flowers last year, because we all used to take it in turns buying flowers for church, and I just thought it'd be a nice thing to be able to do through the summer if I can grow lots of cottage garden flowers and be able to put them at the front of the church in a nice flower arrangement in the summer. So I thought that would be nice. So that's the plan for the seeds for the flowers. I've got plenty of stuff that we can sow, so I'm going to have a little look at that. And I'll just turn you down and show you my compost, and then we can have a little look at that and we can do some seeds together. Right, so this is my compost, and it's a Westlands compost, the blue bag. So I've had a good rake through it and got rid of all the big lumps. Now what I thought I'd do was, I was going to buy some perlite, and I decided that it was a bit too expensive. 100 litres is £25 or £26 on eBay, and I don't want to spend that at the moment, so I'm trying to do what I can cheap or for free. But what I did was, I done all this with the eggshells. These are eggshells that I've been saving for the last few months. So what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd pour this bag into my compost, and then it'll make the compost nice and loose and stop the seedlings from getting too wet. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to pour it in the compost. So here's my compost. I can't pull you any closer. Let's have a look. Pull you any closer without tipping you up like I did last time when I dropped you. Right, I'm going to pour that in on the top. It's all been ground up. And I'm going to mix it in. Bit dusty. I always have loads of eggshells because I've got chickens, haven't I? So it's just a good way of using the eggshells. So we mix that in. I don't want to put too much in because I don't want to overload it, but you know what, I'm going to put the rest of the bag in because it'll make the compost go further as well. Doing that, it'll just add a little bit of air into the compost because I find this stuff with the peat in gets quite waterlogged and my seeds always end up going soggy, so I think this will be a good answer. I've got another bag in the house, so I've got plenty. So if you have hens, keep your eggshells. And as you can see, it mixes in nicely. Make it nice and light. So that's that. Great. So I might even use that for my seedlings that I've got to plant on. So where are we? We want some bigger pots, don't we? For planting on. Right, if we use this one for the old 4 ones. Right, this is just an old garden centre pot. Might put a couple more holes in it. Find my scissors. I'm going to use this to put my courgette plants into for now. So we'll do that. As soon as there's 3. Good root system, look at that. Nice root system on them. I'll take that out. Plant pot's not quite deep enough, but it'll give it a bit of a start. Don't want to pop them onto too big a pot. So that's the first one. Put the next one in. Here's the next one. And then this is our last one. This one's got a lovely root system on it, look at that. That can go in there. Take some of that out and plonk it back. Oh, there's another one coming through there. Pop that one back in. Pop that in there. Right. So that's those plants. That's an empty husk. And that's an empty husk. Right, so we've got our seedlings. We're going to get 4 out of that. So that's them. I'll give them a water in a minute. Right, so next we're going to do the cucumbers. And I might just pop them up back into pots, into these pots again, but with some better soil. So get rid of that. I mean, they are rooting, whether you can see them, they are rooting, but I think they'd be better off in some nicer soil. So we're going to mix them in with this soil. Pop that in there. Pop it nice and deep, and then they'll push roots up the stem. Don't firm it in too much. But that's all I'm going to do with that. But out of those cucumbers, I planted 3 and only 1 came up. So you just never know. So that's that one. Do the same with the other one. Take off some of the soil. But it's starting to root nicely, but I just think it would be better in this compost. Try not to damage the stem. If we plant it nice and deep, it's got a better chance. So that's that one. This is a little cucumber, this one. So they're all nicely labelled. Right. So the next thing we're going to do is our tomatoes. Now, I don't want them in too big a pot at the moment. So I think I'm going to try these. These are just trays that I keep from bedding plants. These are off geraniums. I think it's on the picture on there. Can't see, I haven't got my glasses. Oh, I've got my glasses over there. I'll put them on. So we're going to put all these tomatoes in these trays. If I can get them apart. That's better. I can see the seeds now, the plants now. Right, we'll do this one and then we'll do some seeds. And I'll show you me using my new tubs. Right. So what we do for this one, squish the soil up a bit, loosen it up around the roots, tip it upside down, let the soil out. And then each one of these should separate nicely. So we've got one. They're just starting to get their true leaves. 2, 3. Oh, there's just 6. That's handy, isn't it? 6. Now I've got my dibber. Using this is just an old bamboo cane. Plonk a hole in there. Like so. Put the seedling in, and that's all I'm doing. So I'm going to do that for the others. Soil's gone lovely with that eggshell in it. Now the thing I like about tomatoes is they produce roots up the stem, so you can plant these quite deep and then you'll get a good root system then. I don't like compacting the soil around the seed, I just like to let it be loose and then the water will take it down and round. This looks like a different plant. All came out the same seed packet. Okay, so that's out. We'll plonk the label back. Try not to damage your seeds when you put the label back in. And that's our 6 in there. So I'm going to leave the others now, and I'll do them when I'm not on camera. Because we've got these to do, which are doing really, really well. Really pleased with these ones. These are my cherries. Nice big leaves. And all ready to be potted on. There's quite a few in there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. There's 10 of those. So I've need quite a big tray for them. And then there's quite a few of those as well. So we're going to leave them for now. And what I thought I'd do next is do some flowers. Right, there's been a slug in me spinach. Oh well. Right. They're vegetables, I think. Yeah, veggies. Right. So this is my tin of flower seeds. I've got quite a few to sow, but I want to focus on cut flowers. So these cosmos didn't really work, so I might just plonk them in the same tray as the other ones. Although, no, I'm going to put them in this tray because I like cosmos. Don't need a lot of soil. I'm just going to put that much in. It's about 1 inch deep. And I'm going to put all these in because they're old seeds. I'm going to put that in as my label. There's quite a few of these actually. I don't think I will put them all in. It's too many to sow in there all at once. So I'll keep them, and then if they don't germinate I'll try the rest of them. That's them in there. Right, we need a plant label now. And a pen. So I've got these plant labels in the pound shop. They've got all different types in the one packet for £1. Cosmos mixed 11th of 4th. If you put the date on like that, if you pop the date on, you can keep an eye on them and see if it's worth you sowing any more, because once they go past like 2 or 3 weeks, it might be worth just putting a few more in just in case. So I'm going to lie that down. It's too shallow to, and I'm just going to sprinkle a bit more on the top. Take any lumps out. And here we go. Make sure they're all covered. I think they're all covered. And that's our cosmos done. So I'm going to water all these in a bit. Flatten it on the top a little bit. Make sure it gets good contact with the soil. And then that's that. So that's all you do with that type of tray. It's just the same as what you would do with any ordinary tray. So they need doing. Right, let's have a look at these propagators. These things, these are the trays that we put the holes in the bottom. So pop some compost in there, because to germinate seeds you don't need that much compost. It's when you're potting them on that you need more. So I think that'll do. Right, let's see what we've got here. Lobelia. Oh, stock, I like them. Done that. Them. Aster. Should we try some asters? I like asters. These are from Lidl. Now these are quite fine. They're quite fine seeds, those. Now they're good for next year, up till next year, so I'm going to pop them all in. Just scatter them thinly on the top of the soil. Like that. A few more. That. And then what you can do is you get a plant pot and use it as a sieve. You don't want your soil on it too thick. A little bit more, just to make sure you've got them all covered. That's it. Flatten it down again, not tight, just enough to get the soil contact with the seeds. Get all the soil off the outside so that the lid will go down properly. And then get your label. This is the bag I got. You get all different types of labels. You get these flat ones and you get this type. So I'm going to use one of these long thin ones for this one. So we're going to write on it Cosmos. Wait, no it's not, Aster. And the date again. And I'm going to lie that down again. Right, so that's all I'm doing with that. So put the lid on, try and get the label off if you can, let more light in. Oh, the glue's stuck. Right, and then make sure you've sealed it up properly. Keep the mice out. Might need a little bit of sellotape on it just to make sure it's tight. And there's our little supermarket propagator. So that'll work just the same way as any other propagator. And then you can just plonk that in a tray. So I guess what you could also do is turn one of these up that way and use it as a propagator lid. There you go. Like that, you've got your own homemade propagator, so that'd be good, wouldn't it? But I'm not going to do that. I want to use these for sowing seeds. So I'm going to carry on with my seeds. I'm going to do some sweet peas, these ones. I'm going to do some nice nasturtiums then. And I'm going to have a look through my old seeds and see what we've got, because we've got some cornflowers. I've got these Livingston daisies. Quite a few old things in there. I thought I'd see if I can sow. And then move on to the new ones, because we've got some sunflowers. Got cornflowers. So yeah, I'm just going to make my way through my tin, through the older ones, and sow them first, and then see what happens with them, because I'm all right for another month. Because I'm doing them inside, I'm all right for another month. Where are we, sweet peas? Yeah, till May. A little bit late in the season for sweet peas, but I'm going to have a go anyway. You never know. For the flowering season here, because it's still quite cold, it wouldn't be worth putting them outside, and the mouse would eat them anyway. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to try and do some more seeds, so I'll show you them as they grow, let you know how the propagators are going, and why don't you have a go as well and see if you can get it to work. So I'm going to finish my coffee, crack on with this lot, and then go in out the cold and out the rain. So I hope you've enjoyed my video. If you have, please do like and subscribe. Please do hit the notification bell, and that will tell you when I upload new videos to keep you up to date with my channel. And if you want to buy me a coffee, then feel free to do so. The link's in the description bar below, and I will buy a coffee. So thank you very much for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you soon. So take care. Bye for now. Bye bye.